Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachel Coon and it's our wonderful Wednesday. Today I'll be sharing with you how to make a Scratch and Sniff card using our soon to be retiring or already gone strawberry stamp set. Go into Hold Live Flip and we'll get started. All right. If you are here watching live or watching the replay, please comment. I love seeing your thoughts and your reactions to everything that I make, and even your input. If you have things you want to add to it, please share. I'd love to hear and see it all. All right, so for a wonderful Wednesday, for those who are new to my YouTube channel or my Facebook Lives, what it is on Wednesdays when you order online from me, I send you this awesome, wonderful gift. For the month of April, it's the Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. This is a retiring item and just has all these beautiful rhinestones in 5 different colors. Great, great. And in fact, we are using them in our card today. If you do go ahead and order online, please use my hostess code for April when you order, and I'll send you even an extra gift with that. All right, so this card was inspired by another stamper where she made a beautiful background of strawberries and she made them so they're Scratch and Sniff. That was a totally 90s thing where you can have like a sticker that you would scratch it and have like a scent that would come off of it. So this is a really fun card using items that have already retired or are on the last chance sale. So let me tell you a little bit about each of those. So this is a stamp set I'll be using. It's called Sweet Strawberry. I'm using the stamped images, our little stems for the strawberry, and the Happy Birthday You Sweet Thing on there. However, this is no longer available, sadly enough, I know. So I'm going to show you an alternate way if you don't have the stamp set already in your collection, how you can just use the punch instead and still make a fun strawberry. The Strawberry Builder Punch is still available. It has these awesome multi-images that will be punched out and that you can use even without the stamp set. This is actually on sale for 50% off, so it's now only $9 in the US instead of the $18. It's a great, great deal and will be off of the shelves by May 3rd. So be sure to order that before it's gone. All right, so for this card, if you look really closely, right here, the strawberry, you can kind of see it just glistening. And what we're going to do is make this really cool mixture with Kool-Aid and Clear Embossing Powder. Let me go ahead and get all the items out and we'll get started. The colors I'm using today are the Garden Green. It's my card base. I have also used with my scallop circle right there. I have my Kool-Aid. I'm using the frayed ribbon, which is just gorgeous. A frayed white ribbon, and it's super soft, and you can see it has lots of texture to it. You'll need 2 pieces for that. One's a little bit longer and one's a little bit shorter. For our card today, we also need a basic white circle that matches with our scallop here. And our circles are layering circles. So when you have one, you'll have another one that can go behind it in that scallop look to match it. And that's been die cut out already. I also have a real red mat that we're using. And this DSP here is so fun. If I flip it over, you'll see where it came from. It's called the Sweet Talk DSP. So this was traditionally used for Valentine's Day cards, but I just love how this really looks like a strawberry to me. Super, super fun DSP. Then you'll need at least a little piece of the Garden Green so we can stamp our stem onto and punch that out. And then I like to have a basic white for the inside layer as well. I did go ahead and die cut a basic black stitched rectangle in the size that would match our words here for this guy. We're going to do a lot of heat embossing with our heat tool, and so it'll get a little bit loud, but it'll be totally worth it to see how awesome it is. All right, so first let me go ahead and let me show you the bonus strawberry. So this is if you don't have the stamp set, you can still make a strawberry really easily with just by punching it out. I didn't even stamp the stem on this one, and I just used the paper. If you don't have this paper, even real red cardstock would work, or even a like Poppy Parade cardstock, any shade of red would look awesome to make your own little strawberry. So there's my tip if you don't have the stamp set. All right, let's grab our basic white. This circle is what we're gonna be stamping on. I'm gonna grab my foam mat out and place it underneath it since we're using a photopolymer. And when you're stamping the strawberry, you want to use the outline first. I have it in the real red as our color. Like I said, Poppy Parade will work great too. Get that, go ahead and ink this up. I do about 3 or 4 taps. Bring it over to our circle and stamp down. There we go, awesome. Next, we're gonna grab our inside. I call this the filler of the strawberry. We're gonna ink this up and line it up right over that outline. Sometimes it's tricky to line up, so just kind of hover and then press down. There we go, love it. Okay, set that aside. Let's go ahead and stamp the pieces that we'll need for our stem as well and punch those out. We're done with our real red, so just put that away, and you make sure you wipe off the filler strawberry before our very next step. So I just have a reusable wipe. I'm gonna wipe it down and let it dry, and it'll be ready in here in just a second. Okay, so for this guy, we're gonna need our garden green ink, which is just a perfect shade of green, I feel. And we're gonna need our cute little outline of our stem. What I like to do is look at my punch. This is the way I usually like to punch. I unlock it by pushing that bottom here. There's a cool locking agent. So that way when we wanna store it, it's easier to store. But we will have to have it unlocked in order to use it. So look at this, we'll see that our stem's going this direction. So I want to stamp it similar to that. If you're not quite sure, slide your paper in and get a feel of where you want to put it. You want to make sure you have paper that you can hold on to still, so not too small. This is just a leftover piece. All right, so I'm going to ink up my outline of my stem and put it right about here. Ooh, that's not too bad. Looks like I have a little bit that could have been better though. So let me flip it over. Well, let's just go to this side. Press down a little bit harder. There we go. That's a cleaner stamped image. I'll show you so you can kind of see the difference. This one, my leaf, I didn't press hard enough or get enough ink, and that one looks perfect. Okay, for the next part, if you want, you can do the fill in for this or leave it blank. It's up to you. This just gets some added texture, but it is slightly hard to line up, especially if your head's not right above it. So we'll see how well I do on that. Not too bad, not too bad. All right, put that ink away and we can punch out our cute stem. Go ahead and slide this in and line it up and hold it down until it starts to grab onto it where you want it. If it's not quite, move it again. You always want to have it facing up towards you so you can see it, and then push all the way down and out punches our cute little stem. Okay. We'll set that aside. We won't attach that until we're done adding the strawberry scent. We just want to make sure it was ready to go. Now let's go ahead and remove our foam mat. And what I like to use when I do embossing is just a piece of printer paper. I like to fold it in half, and it creates a little valley here so that when I emboss, it has it easy for me to gather it up and scoop it back into where it needs to go. So we're going to do first our embossing for our strawberry, and then we'll do our embossing for this guy too. All right. So what I've made in my little baggie is a Kool-Aid and Clear Embossing Powder solution. You see right there? What it is just 2 parts embossing powder, 1 part Kool-Aid. So I used my 1/8 measuring spoon, and I just measured out. You can even eyeball it if you are good with measurements, looking at it that way. It's not really a science, so it's not super specific or anything like that. Just 2 parts embossing powder, 1 part Kool-Aid. So you can make as much of this you want or as little as you want. And then you just want to make sure you shake it up. I put it in a resealable baggie so it's easy for me to use, but if you have an old embellishment container, that would work perfect as well. All right, so what we need to do is grab our filler strawberry and our Versamark, which is our clear ink. This is super sticky ink and it makes it easy to attach anything that we're embossing. We'll go ahead and ink that up and put it right over our strawberry. Perfect. Then we're gonna go ahead and grab our Kool-Aid mixture. I use my little spoon here that I use to measure it with. And then we're just gonna shake some of it on top of there, just like so. And I'm gonna keep it open and tap off the excess right back inside. So I can make this card over and over again, and it really doesn't take very much at all. Then I'm gonna grab my tweezers. Let me see, I had them close by, of course, a second ago, and now I can't, oh, here they are. Grab our tweezers to hold on to this because it's gonna get hot. Here's our heat tool by Stampin Up. Has 2 different settings on here. I always like to do it on number 2, but if you're new and you want to not heat up as fast, feel free to just go to the number 1 and then tap off that excess too, or use a brush to get the spots that aren't on the strawberry. There we go. And now we go ahead and emboss. It's gonna get loud, so just hang in there. Okay, and we stop heating it once it looks like it's all melted and it looks like this super juicy strawberry. You see how it's glistening now? Before it was very powdery and we couldn't see the strawberry as well, but now it's gorgeous and done. Go ahead and move this aside real quick and we'll get ready to do our basic white. You'll see the difference there, but I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more and then we can scratch it and smell the strawberry in it. It's just super, super awesome. All right, let me grab my foam mat back in here for this one, since it's words, and my Versamark. This time I'm gonna use the white embossing powder instead of the clear. The clear is awesome because it just takes on the color that's underneath it. All right, this one though, we're gonna take, we don't want it just to be black, we're gonna want it to be white. So we're gonna ink it, stamp it. Looks pretty good. Grab our white embossing powder and sprinkle that over it. Just like so. I usually skip this step whenever we're stamping together just because it takes a little bit of time and is loud, but I really like to show you sometimes how amazing and almost magical embossing with embossing powder can be. All right, again, we'll use our tweezers to hold it for us. And I'm gonna put this away. We'll clean up our powder again by just folding our pieces together and dumping it back in. This powder lasts for years and years. This is the white one, and there's different colors that Stampin Up has, but white is definitely one of my favorites. All right, now let's go ahead and grab our heat tool and heat it up. Okay, Looks like all of it has been melted. You can kind of see there's a couple little specks along there, but I think that adds character, so I love it. And honestly, what we just did was we just melted the powder into it. And you can tell by it becoming a solid, and it has, again, that shine to it. All right, I think we're just about ready to assemble. Let me clean up my mess just a little bit so we don't make any bad choices in a second with it. And see, I still have my birthmark uncovered. All right, now we're ready to assemble. What we need to do is go ahead and attach our DSP to our mat here. Flip it over, add some liquid glue. Avoid the edges too much, so that way we have a little bit of squish room. Place it on top and press down. Of course, I have all of my measurements on the description below on YouTube, or if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll post the link to my blog later so you have all the measurements for this card. All right, next we're gonna need some tear tape, and we're gonna flip this over. We're gonna grab just about maybe 2 inches worth and put it about almost center. The first time I made this card, I had it too low and I couldn't put my stain on here very well. So I removed everything that I set on there and scooted that part up. Okay, so we're gonna remove the backings of our tear tape, and we're gonna take the longer piece of our frayed white ribbon. So it's this guy right here. He's about 6 inches. And we're gonna drape him across where we want him to be. We want him to be just about there. And then we'll fold over the ends to one to the back and one to the back, just like that. And there we go. We have that tear tape back there to secure it nicely. Go ahead and add dimensionals to the back of this. Oh, there we go. I tell you, this table right now is a hot mess. There's so many things on here. This card is definitely a little bit more busy than my usual, but it's fantastic. I'm going to put a dimensional on each end of the ribbon as well, just to give it an extra, make sure it's going to stay on. Remove the backings of your dimensionals, set them aside to find later in the bathroom or the kitchen. No, just kidding. You could throw those away. But chances are good they will follow you wherever you go. Grab your card base and put this carefully onto your card base, having a border on all ends. All right, let's grab our strawberry, which can now be scratched, and you can pretend to smell it. Super, super fun. I'm telling you, it's like a total throwback to the 90s. All right, a little bit of liquid glue on the back of this guy. We're going to attach it to its matching scallop there. We're also going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue to our stem. Since he got heated up, he's a little bit flimsy, so make sure I add a little bit more glue there. He needs more glue than we thought. Then we'll do a dollop of glue right on the top for my stem. Grab that. If you have a glue dot, that would work right here as well. I'm going to set that aside to let that dry. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our ribbon, smaller piece, about 4 inches for this one. Slide it underneath our ribbon here and just tie a knot. We want a knot bow is what I like to call it. This is kind of like a fake bow, which is awesome because then it's very forgiving. We'll pull at the ends to make it as the size we want. What I did to this one over here is that I removed some of the ribbon here, like a line of it, and that creates this cool frayed edge as well. So over here I can probably show you a little bit better. There we go. That cut off piece there, I can do a couple more. There we go. Start to fray it, trim it so it doesn't fray anymore. And there we go. We have a super cute bow that has those frayed ends. I like that because it's really forgiving to make it look messy. All right, now we need to flip this over, add dimensionals. It's crazy that this is Kool-Aid, right? I did try, however, like a Crystal Light, not the same. Crystal Light type drinks have an added sugar to it versus Kool-Aid, which you have to add sugar to it later. And so definitely stick to Kool-Aid for this card, or this style of card, I should say. All right, so we add some dimensionals to the back of this one, but we're gonna avoid this top right corner, or now it's my bottom right, because it's overlapping the circle. We don't want that one to be raised. It'll just make it too lopsided, because there's already dimensionals behind here. Okay, just like so. It's placed on there, and then lastly, all we need to do is embellish and add our basic white to the inside, which of course I've misplaced. Oh my goodness. Okay, oh, I found it. Here's our basic white. I'll get that inside right now. And let me grab some seal. I'm gonna put a little bit of Seal Plus on each corner, one in the center, flip it, and stick it in there. Awesome. Go ahead and start your fold, grab your bone folder, and then we just need to add those holiday rhinestones. It's turning out super cute, and if that knot's too big, feel free to trim it some more and then fray it again. All right, my holiday rhinestones, I'm gonna grab out these red colored ones. We'll put a big one up here and then a small one right below it. And then we'll add one more by our birthday saying here. And let's go ahead and have it be a bigger one too. Let's throw it right there. Super cute. All right, and there you have it, an easy way to make a Scratch and Sniff strawberry card using our Clear Embossing Powder along with our Kool-Aid. Super, super fun card. This strawberry, again, is leaving us soon. Don't worry, we will have more fruits in the next catalog, so you can continue making some fun scented fruited cards. But be sure to grab this one if strawberries are your favorite. Have a great and wonderful Wednesday. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.